right, here we go. Session number 2 for closing time, our summer mini retreat about dealing with change. If you missed session 1, go back and take a listen to it as we talked on Monday about shining light in the dirty areas of our life and maybe what we need to work on. What is God calling us to change in our lives? And we're using the 1998 hit song from Semisonic, Closing Time, as our inspiration for this week. All right, so what was your examination of conscience like this week? Did you do it? Did you rush through it? Did you take some time to really pray through it? Were you honest with yourself? Those are sometimes the hardest things to do when we're examining the areas of our life that need change. And the next part of the song that we're going to use today is the line where they say, "You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here." You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. So my first question is, where's home for you? What's like your place that is completely safe and feels like it just is the place that you want to be, where you don't feel like you have to worry about people bothering you or stress or maybe anxiety? Maybe it's not physically your house. Maybe there's another place that you feel that. Maybe it's at church. Maybe it's at your best friend's house, wherever it may be. But I think as I look over like what we've been through over the last few months, I think a lot of people have felt just kind of like stuck in a rut. I think we maybe have been in situations where we feel like we're not thriving. We're just trying to survive, get from one day to the next. Maybe work is uncertain. You don't know what your kids are going to do for school. Maybe you live by yourself and you just feel super lonely and isolated, being alone all the time. Maybe you feel spiritually empty, or maybe physically you just don't feel 100% and you're worried that every time you have an ailment or a cough, could it be the coronavirus? Could it be something else that I need to worry about? Maybe anxiety and depression is getting the best of you during these tough times, this crazy year of 2020 that we've been through. But when it comes forth to bringing change in areas of our life that we've exposed in need of help, or dealing with change that maybe has been even involuntarily forced upon us, we have to deal with stepping out of our comfort zone. So that's what I want to do today. And that whole image of you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, I'm talking about your comfort zone. If this is the comfort zone and home is like the place where you feel the most comfortable, I want you to go the other direction. I don't want you to stay where you feel stuck. I want you to take a step out. And I found this amazing quote from a psychologist, Abraham Maslow, where he said, "One can choose to go back toward safety or forward toward growth. Growth must be chosen again and again. Fear must be overcome again and again." So to step outside of this comfort zone is something that we have to choose to do every day. And where is the place that you want to go? Is it something maybe that you want to improve in your home? Maybe in a relationship that you have? Is it doubt in your faith? Is it you just want to get out of quarantine and you want COVID to be over like the rest of the world? What are you desiring for change? And then the next question is, what did God reveal to you that He desires to change within you this week? And are you open to it? Because when we stay in our comfort zone, it does 3 things to us. It keeps us from growth. It keeps us from trying new things. And it's conditioning us to settle. I've definitely felt that way in my life where, you know what, I'm just trying to get through the day today. I don't want to do anything extra that's going to make me step outside my comfort zone or push me to grow in any way, shape, or form. Today, I'm just going to survive. Can you identify with that? But when we step outside of our comfort zone, it's trying to make a habit of one small step. You know, when I was doing youth ministry, I would use this image a lot with the kids, and I would kind of identify the boundaries of what maybe my comfort zone would be. And if I just stayed inside that zone all the time, I couldn't get very far in life, right? I'd literally be stuck in one area that I've defined as, this is it, this is my comfort zone. But if I were to take just one step outside of that zone, Now the zone has expanded and it's a little bit bigger. And maybe that's all I can do today is take that one step out and just live there in the moment and be okay with that because I've grown. I've taken a little bit of growth and initiative. And then guess what? The next day, I could either choose to go back to where I was or maybe take that next step out and grow just a little bit more. And as we grow that comfort zone again, and we don't get complacent in resisting change, we can see that God is working in us and our comfort zone is actually becoming larger and allows more people to be included in it. So I'm a really practical person. I like simple steps. So here are 3 steps to beating your comfort zone. Maybe you don't need this. Maybe you're great at getting out of your comfort zone. I go back and forth. Some days I can be a total extrovert and do crazy things just because I need to. And other days I'm a total introvert and I just want to, not do anything that pushes me too much. But here are 3 steps to beat your comfort zone. 1, make a procrastination list. So what are the things that you've been putting off that you've been wanting to do that you just haven't gotten around to yet? 2, then from that list, find one or more of just the smallest items on your list that will help you grow in some way. And 3, keep taking those steps on the list to continue to grow. So 1, make a list of things that you have been procrastinating on. And maybe the better image is, in that examination of conscience, what are the things that that are holding you back from being able to change in the way that maybe you think God revealed to you this week? And then start to do the smallest, easiest things on that list to achieve the goal. And then keep taking steps to make it happen. I'd like to use another scripture story today. And this one, to me, is one of the biggest examples of stepping out of your comfort zone, literally, in scripture. And that's the walking on the water. We're in Matthew chapter 14, starting at verse 22, if you'd like to follow along. Then Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and precede him to the other side while he dismissed the crowds. After doing so, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray, and when it was evening, he was there alone. Meanwhile, the boat, already a few miles offshore, was being tossed about by the waves, for the wind was against it. And during the 4th watch of the night, he came toward them, walking on the sea. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified. "It is a ghost," they said, and they cried out in fear. At once Jesus spoke to them, "Take courage, it is I. Do not be afraid." Peter said to him in reply, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." He said, "Come." Peter got out of the boat and began to walk on the water toward Jesus. But when he saw how strong the wind was, he became frightened, and beginning to sink, he cried, "Lord, save me." Immediately Jesus stretched out his hand and caught him and said to him, "O you of little faith, why did you doubt?" After they got into the boat, the wind died down. Those who were in the boat did him homage, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." The Gospel of the Lord. So, where's Jesus calling you to step out of the boat? Where is he calling you to walk on water? And notice in the story, Peter didn't succeed, right? So whatever this change is that maybe you are experiencing this week, or you're experiencing the desire to explore this week, don't necessarily think that it's just going to get better just like that, right? Like, even in the presence of Jesus, the disciples doubted. But we have to rely on him for the faith and the strength to step out of the boat, to step out of our comfort zone, to take that first step to begin to embrace and not feel uncomfortable in the change that God is desiring in us. So our reflection question today is, when was the last time you stepped out of your comfort zone? And what are the boundaries of your comfort zone? And what will it take to break through them? I hope that this question can just give you some time to pray today, and God can continue to answer the questions that you have for how you would like to see change in your life this week. So remember, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Let's grow. Let's step out of our comfort zone and make change happen. I'll see you Friday.